Dr. Linda Rost, and I teach high school science in Baker, Montana. This is our Midrivers Education Tech Grant request for $6,600 for the program Phages in Baker. Phages is an acronym for Phages Helping Acquire Genuine Experience in Science. My students have been involved in really innovative science and engineering programs during my 18-year career, including the Phages program, which is a partnership with Montana Tech. For the past 10 years, over 100 students per year in grades 7 through 12, so over 1,000 students, have been searching for phages in soil and water samples from their surroundings. Phages are viruses that infect bacteria, and they can be used as an alternative to antibiotics. Currently, many people around the world are getting bacterial infections that, when treated with antibiotics, become resistant and incurable. Phages are a new treatment that has already saved lives when used with antibiotics. In fact, the phages discovered in our program have been used to treat people infected with strains of bacteria resistant to antibiotics. However, the phages used in these treatments must be found and isolated from soil and water. Every time a phage is discovered, it is new to science. No phage can ever be discovered twice because they're the most numerous biological entity on the planet. They're not considered living, so we call them a biological entity. So far, my students have found 4 phages. They've named them Yoda soda, queso cheese, Gunder soup, and one that was just discovered and hasn't yet been named by a 7th grader, Ashley Stanhope. The phages we're trying to find they infect Mycobacterium smegmatis, which is a bacteria, a safe soil bacteria that is a cousin of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is the cause of tuberculosis. Due to our unique environment in eastern Montana, the phages we discover here have characteristics that are different from those in other parts of the world. And when we find a new phage, they are sent to Montana Tech and the University of Pittsburgh to study, and they sequence the DNA of the phages to determine what genes they have to help save lives. The rate is about 1 in 1,000 students discover phages, and so having 4 phages that Baker has discovered is a really big deal. This program allows students to learn about their local ecosystem, including organisms that inhabit this area, while also taking part in authentic scientific research and potentially contributing to scientific knowledge if they discover a phage or wish to continue conducting research, as some students have. These 2 students pictured, Bo Rost and Olivia Gunderson, both discovered phages, and they went and did internships at Montana Tech. Bo did a 1-year internship and Olivia did 2 internships over 2 summers. Students learn invaluable skills such as sterile technique, conducting scientific investigations, and understanding how scientific knowledge is built. These skills have helped students pursue internships and careers in medical, scientific, and engineering fields, as they gain far more laboratory and research skills than average high school students through this program. The phages program was previously funded by 2 NIH grants through Montana Tech, but it is no longer funded. Those grants are over. Our mentor was Dr. Marissa Padula, who's pictured here. She engaged us in professional development for teachers. She even bought a new electron microscope through another NIH grant, and now it is the only transmission electron microscope in Montana, and a group of teachers, including myself, were the first to use it. She also sponsored teacher research experiences where we collaborated in labs at Montana Tech and did authentic research. And we were trained in how to continue the phage program in our classrooms. So now my hope is that I'm able to continue the program with our school as a satellite lab and continue engaging students in phage digging and phage discovery. But we lack the equipment to continue this program. So our grant request is for $6,600 for equipment that will allow us to continue doing the phage program with the support of Montana Tech. They're still supporting us in terms of expertise, but it is up to us to continue the program, to grow the bacteria, and to prepare everything for our students to isolate phages. So with this grant, we would buy a vacuum pump, which is $1,100, vacuum filter apparatuses, which are $400, 2 stir hot plates, and 2 heating mantles, total of $2,400, and then some other supplies that we use as the students are doing the program, including augers, albumin for protein, glycerol, broths and augers, pipetters. These are machines that help us measure precise volumes. Some syringes and filters for students, some falcon tubes to grow the bacteria, smaller falcon tubes for students to take their samples, and then test tube racks and pipette tip boxes. So here's a picture of my students from this year engaged in the phage program. They're looking at their plates and seeing if they isolated any of the phages from their samples. We are requesting grant funding to purchase this lab equipment so that we can continue engaging students in this phage program and continue doing phage discovery at Baker High School. So students can gain skills in scientific research and discover their own phages from southeastern Montana. Thank you.
This is the classroom we do phages. We have up to 40 kids from grades 7 to 12 who try to find phages around Fallon County. This is where Dr. Rost grows the bacteria and phages. Dr. Rost has a lot of equipment from MT Tech to do the phages, but we need more. This is the fume hood that she uses to make the broth and the agar to grow the bacteria. Come this way. This is the incubator, which she uses to shake the plate to grow the bacteria in order for the plates to do their thing. This is the autoclave and is used to sterilize or test the tubes and agar.
Why are you running that water?
I have to vacuum filter the solution to sterilize it.
Why don't you just put it in the autoclave?
The autoclave heats up and pressurizes whatever you have in there. In a solution like this, which is egg whites, would actually get cooked in the autoclave.
So why are you running the water?
This is a cheap device off of Amazon, and we don't have it anymore, so we have to be careful not to use this one and get it dirty. That does not work very well and takes forever to filter the smallest amount of water.
What do you actually need to do to filter it though? Like, what do they use at Montana Tech?
We need a vacuum pump to filter this. There are a bunch of solutions that have to be filtered this way and can be autoclaved. If we had the actual pump, that would be so much better. We are asking for the vacuum filter and the apparatus that goes with it as a part of the Midrivers grant.
Bag! What are you doing in here?
I'm making agar to grow the bacteria. I have to use this hot plate to stir and boil the agar powder.
Gosh, that thing looks old and heavily used.
Yeah, it was donated by Montana Tech when they were replacing all of their old lab equipment. So yeah, it's really old and like busted, and Miss Ross has had to fix it like a lot of times, as you can tell. It would be really nice if we had two, so that way I can make the broth and the agar at the same time.
How much do you have to make of it?
A lot. To make enough for over 100 kids to do it, we go through a ton of agar and broth. In the Midrivers grant, we are asking for 2 hot plates / stir plates and 2 mantles to prepare the stuff, plus bottles of the broth and the agar and a bunch of other materials to grow the bacteria.
Just like what does this elementary do?
Hey, what are you guys doing?
We're getting ready for the phage program.
Oh, that's cool. But what is that thing?
It's called a pipetter. It's used to measure certain liquids, but that one hardly works, and this one only works because of the duct tape.
That's sad face, dude. But what's with all the rest of this stuff?
It's sterilized equipment that we use to isolate the phages. So we use these to suck up the liquid, and then we put them into these filters to isolate the phage. But we're asking for more of this stuff from the Midrivers grant since, you know, these don't really work.
Phages can be found everywhere. In this fish tank, in your pet's cage. This year, like we always do, we test for phages that would infect tuberculosis. And this year, Ashley Stanhope found a phage that would do so. Let's go meet her. So, Ashley, can you please tell us where you collected your phage?
I collected this in my backyard in like those plants where we put our dirt in.
Can you tell us, what did you name your phage?
I named it Fritz.
Okay. Can you show us the plate and tell us how you know it's there?
So the clear spot kills the bacteria on here, and that's how we know the clear spot is the phage. So that's how we know it's there.
Thank you, Ashley. Over and out.